Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tungsten Tales. It's the final of the 2014 World Darts Championship, and I'm happy to say we've got the chairman of the PDC, Mr. Barry Hearn here. Barry, nice to see you, and thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
On the day of the final, we see a new name on the trophy this year, Michael Van Gerwen and Peter Wright. Looks like it might be Michael, but we never know. Is that good? Is that good for?
Well, I think any sport needs to be competitive. You know, Phil Taylor's had a marvellous season again after I don't know how many 20-odd years of having marvellous seasons. You know, a young player, Michael Smith, who's going to be a star in the future, came up and did a job on him. You know, Phil averaged 95 or 96 instead of 105 or 106, and that was the difference. And that's how sport should be, you know. I mean, it should be a sport that the doors are open to ability. It's the only criteria that anyone's really interested in. Yeah. And, you know, I think, has the tournament suffered for not having Phil? Well, people like watching Phil Taylor. Of course, he's a legend in the game. Yeah. But at the same time, people like to see new faces. Yeah. And we're going to create another star tonight, whether it's Michael Van Gerwen or Peter Wright. In fact, both of them have announced their presence on the big stage, and they're both going to be huge stars in the future. And darts is in a happy place when it's got characters like that coming through. Yeah, that's. I mean, we've been out interviewing in the fan zone out of the round, and the colours, the fancy dress, and people like Peter Wright, Michael Van Gerwen, and a name and all the different players. It really is. They know the players now. Obviously, what you've done, obviously, with Sky and ITV and pushing it around the world. Yeah. They know darts now. They know the players. Well, I think, you know, this is a phenomenon in British sport. I mean, it's quite unique because there isn't, you know, like it or loathe it, and some people don't like all the noise, and sad people don't like the fancy dress. This is entertainment in sport, and this is what today's market wants to see. It wants to see a younger audience, you know, wants an audience that's coming out to have fun. Yeah. You know, and the day that a sport, any sport, doesn't leave you with a smile on the face. Of course, you've got to watch world-class action. You've got to watch amazing ability. Yeah. You're seeing that. But there's nothing to say it can't be done in an atmosphere that's entertaining and fun to be in. Yeah. You know, these are difficult times for a lot of people today. Yeah. You know, they have to spend their money to get to a venue, to buy a ticket, to enjoy themselves. And it's so nice to think that they're getting value for that money, because I think in a lot of sports they don't. Yeah. And darts is setting the tone. And it's the fact that it comes across on TV so well. What we're doing on the back of that is establishing a global audience. Yeah. People that don't even play darts are watching darts because it's good to watch. Yeah. And, you know, a game has got to be good before you start. And this game is great entertainment. We've been blessed with a number of characters that can play at a fantastic standard, but are also interesting in their own way. Yeah. And I think that, put that together, that's a recipe for a cake that's going to be eaten by millions and hundreds of millions of people around the world. Yeah.
That's something. We interviewed some guys and ladies out the front there who come all the way from New Zealand just to watch the darts. I mean, that's just fantastic. Yeah. And of course, over in Australia, we've seen Bo and Kyle Anderson. Of course, Kyle makes it through the sea. Yeah. I mean, he was just. It may well have changed his life. I mean, made him a superstar. It's wonderful to see.
Well, I think tonight, Peter Wright's life. I said to him after we won this semi-final, congratulations, tonight your life changed. Yeah. You know, and we're not talking about Premier League footballs. We're talking about people that can other people can relate to them. Yes. It's like the bloke who lives in your street, and you actually wish them well, which is really nice. These guys don't jump out of their Ferrari into another Ferrari. No. But at the same time, through what was predominantly a working man's sport, that's become a classless sport, that came out of a pub and has been jettisoned into the biggest arenas in Europe. This is an amazing transformation, and people should warm to it. Ordinary guys are getting the chance, and youngsters coming into sport now can look and say, I want to be, when I grow up, I want to be a dart player. Yeah. And, you know, the respect that that delivers to the sport itself is something that we can't undervalue. Yeah. And the fact that people like Sky now turn around and say darts is our second biggest audience earner on TV is mind-boggling where the game's come from.
It is, and I noticed looking back at when you took over the PDC, you know, the running of the darts, even Barry Hearn, can you imagine what's happened now? No. Could you even see that? Even yourself couldn't see that.
Well, let me say, I'm going to take all the credit.
Yes, sir, I would.
Course, you know, and as much of the money as possible. But, you know, at the same time, it's been such a great merry-go-round to be on. And, you know, I always say, you can't ride a merry-go-round with one foot on the floor. You're either on it or you're off it. And we committed 100% with a great team of people behind us, with the benefit of the players really on our side. Yeah. Being prepared to work hard, being prepared to travel around the country, paying their own expenses. You know, these guys have given us the ammunition and we've supplied the machine gun. Yes. So it's been easy to press the trigger because we have a receptive audience that's waiting to be entertained, and these guys are doing that in spades.
And you're right, in the entertainment, the relationship I see, like Phil Taylor, see Adrian Lewis saying about things like, oh, relating it to boxing, you know, got to hit them when you know. Do you think, you know, the connection with yourself, obviously with a boxing background?
I think any sport that really is competitive involves, you know, people say, oh, darts is not a sport. You know, those people should just disappear and go and live on another planet, because you deserve to be. Let's all go and watch synchronised swimming. You know, that's a proper sport. You know, this is a sport because people dedicate their lives to playing it at the very highest level. What they give us is the opportunity to watch world-class sport in action. Now, whether you're a tennis player, whether you're a snooker player, whether you're a boxer, it is the final analysis, it's all about beating the other guy. And the little psychological nuances that occur, you know, the one-upmanship on the hockey, the swagger, the interrelationship with the crowd, these are part and parcel of getting yourself mentally right to hit that double when there's a pressure in the world on you. We saw a double the other night when the crowd were going, ooh, and Peter Wright actually stopped and brought the crowd to a frenzy, turned around and hit double four. You know, people, that's what people want to see. It's fast and furious action. The game is legitimate. It's all about ability. The prize money is fantastic now and will continue to grow. I mean, we've got £7 million on the circuit this year. We came from £500,000 a year to 7 million during a recession. I mean, sorry, are we doing something wrong? No. We've taken it to a wider audience, both on television, as far as sponsors are concerned, and as far as the paying public concerned. They're the people that matter to us. And we've been the beneficiaries. The players now can change their lives. Youngsters can go on the youth tour and change their life playing professional darts. And that is the biggest part of the journey we've been on, and that's the one, I think, at the end of the day, that we'll be most remembered for.
That's it. I see Michael Smith, World Youth Champion, beats that says it all, beats Phil Taylor. And then, of course, we've got the Challenge Tour this year, as well as the Pro Tour, because we just had so many people want to be part of this. Obviously, Q School will be massive, won't it, in a couple of weeks?
The Q School, you're looking at probably 400 plus players from all around the world trying to get, what, 24 cards? It's going to be brutal. What we are guaranteed as the paying customer is we're guaranteed the best players in the world because it's a hard school. And secondly, they're guaranteed to having the opportunity. It's not an obligation, it's not a shoe-in either, because it's going to be tough. Getting your Q card, your Q School card, is a major move forward. The work starts then, it doesn't finish. But for those that have tried, for one reason or not been quite good enough, they can switch down to the Challenge Tour, have a year improving their game, and then go again. The Youth Tour players have got their events this year where they can start to try and replicate the atmosphere and the pressure of playing on a big stage, and then bring that on equal footing with the superstars of the game. And Michael Smith shows you what can happen. You know, 1 minute he's winning the world under 21, next minute he's knocking out 16 times champion of the world. What else is there, you know? Can I pick up a golf club or a tennis racket and turn up at Wimbledon? No.
Doesn't happen.
Or the British Open? No, it doesn't happen. This is a sport for all, and it's opportunities for everyone, and it's only built on ability.
And I think exactly what you're saying regarding because I think the fact of the pressure, the fact that the average players, they played in the local pub, they felt nerves playing in the local pub, then they play Super League, then they play county or whatever, and they go up to that level so everyone can relate to, like, shake that hand shaking. And instead of people don't say it's a sport, well, I was stood out there 3 hours before, just where the walk-on is, and I'm just thinking, how do they do this? How do they do it with 2,500 to 3,000 people? Their hand, it is just...
You know, life's all about snakes and ladders. It's not really complicated. You know, we go up the ladders and we try and avoid the snakes.
That's it.
And it's the same in any sport. You have to prepare well. You have to be professional. You have to be dedicated. But that's only half of it. Somewhere the man upstairs has given you some ability, and you have to be special to play on the PDC circuit. Just to play on the circuit, you've got to be special. Well, these guys are showing themselves to be supernaturally special, because this is the pressures of the live crowd, the millions of people watching around the world. The back of their mind, they're thinking, what happens if? Premier League, do I get in, do I not get in? You know, am I going to qualify for the Grand Slam? Is this going to take me from a £100,000 a year player to £500,000 a year player, or £1 million player, or more? And the answer is, it's all down to what you do on stage.
That's it.
No excuses.
There's no excuse. And if you don't mind mentioning, I mean, I've been to a few, lucky enough to go for a few of the Pro Tour events, and perhaps the people who are back home have not had that experience of seeing The darts there is unbelievable, isn't it? You've got 16 boards. You just walk around and you might, oh, it's Gary Anderson against Adrian Lewis. Well, actually, I might watch Mervyn King against Phil Taylor here. And they're doing 110 averages without flinching. You know,
in fact, we've had over 109 dart finishes. You know, I mean, come on. Ridiculous. When Phil Taylor got his first one, he got £100,000.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not in this.
No. It's just, you know, we've only had 2 in the World Championships so far. Who's to say what's going to happen? But the standard comes by making it an aspirational sport, by giving people the opportunity to gamble their life in a way, to say, you know, have you got what it takes? And, you know, there's lots of good players. My local golf pro, my local golf club, he's a fantastic golfer. He's never going to win anything on the professional circuit. There's another level to go to. And, you know, the fact is that these people are the bravest people in our sporting world, because they're gambling their whole life on, am I good enough? And some of them, a lot of them, will be disappointed.
That's it.
That's the nature of a game that's going somewhere. And what we're seeing is live television coverage all around the world. Those countries that don't take it live are taking highlights. Over 100 countries are warming to professional darts. And people that don't even play are watching professional darts because it's a good sport to watch. I mean, I don't play tennis. I watch Wimbledon. It's a good sporting event. Doesn't make me a good fan or a bad fan. Makes me an occasional fan. When we got Premier League darts, we got 100,000 of those people turning up. You know, 9, 10, 11,000 people a night.
Thursday night.
Watching something that is not visible to the naked eye. And having the time of their life.
That's it. So Premier League's a sellout. If you don't mind mentioning the Premier League, am I right in saying that we might hear this evening the 10 lucky names? Well, 4 guaranteed and in 6 picks.
We got the announcement after the final tonight. We're going to tell there's going to be some disappointed players out there. There's going to be some very happy players out there. But the message to all the players is, go and do it yourself. It's in your hands. No one does anyone a favour in life. No one gives you anything. You're on your own, mate.
That's it.
And that's how I love it. You know, you go back to the boxing, when that bell goes for round 1, you can have the best trainer, the best promoter, the best manager. It doesn't matter a row of beans. It's about how good you are. And darts is the epitome of exactly that sort of situation. How good are they? And what we're seeing is we're seeing the best in the world.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, Barry, for spending your time with us and saying those words. And thanks for joining us on Tunks and Tales. My name's Paul Starr. That's the wonderful Mr. Barry Hearn. Thank you, Barry.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.